Stay safe.
Stay active.
And stay healthy.
Hi, I'm Mrs. Barrett from PASS, Physical Activity and Sports Specialist, and we hope you're keeping safe, active and healthy at home or at school. This PE lesson is aimed at children in years 1 and 2, so Key Stage 1 classes, and is one of our gymnastics lesson. In this particular PE lesson, the children are going to be learning how to travel in different ways, low and high. For this particular lesson, they won't need any specific equipment. They just need to make sure they've got a nice clear space to work in, where they're not going to bump into anything or knock anything over. So if you want to pause the video to make sure you've got a nice clear space around you, ready to take part in our PE lesson. Welcome back, year 1 and 2. Hopefully you're now ready to take part. So we're going to be thinking about travelling as high as we can and as low to the floor as we can. So we're going to think about straight away the different body parts that are low and high in some of the different shapes that I'm going to make. So at the moment, as I sit on my bottom in this shape that we did in our first lesson, can you tell me what part of the body is the lowest part? That's right, guys, it should be my bottom because my feet are off the floor and it's just my bottom touching the floor. And in this still shape, what part of my body is the highest part, so the closest to the ceiling? What do you think? It's my head. Hopefully you got that right too. Now, if I change my still shape to do this one, what part of my body is the highest part now? Hopefully you're saying my hands or fingers. And which part of my body is the lowest part? Hopefully you're saying my feet. What about in this still shape? What do we think now? What part of my body is the lowest and what part of my body is the highest? What do you think? So the lowest part of my body was one knee that I was balancing on, and the highest part of my body was my right hand or my fingers. Hopefully you thought the same. Right, year 1 and 2, let's get our heart beating faster and get our body ready for our gymnastics lesson. So we're going to be thinking about moving high and low in different ways. So we can all walk around the room, but can we walk as high as we possibly can? And then we're going to challenge ourselves to walk really low too. But let's begin with high first. So as you move around your space, year 1 and 2, how high can you walk? So think about what you need to do with your body to reach as tall as you can. So I've come up onto my tiptoes and I've reached my hands above my head. So I'm almost touching the ceiling when I walk as high as I can. And I can try doing that forwards and backwards and sideways. Oh, my ceilings are quite low. Can you walk as high as you can? Okay, now we're going to think about walking as low as we can to the floor. Oh, so I wonder if you can walk really, really low. You'll probably be able to get a lot lower than me, year 1 and 2. Can you walk really low to the floor too? You really need to bend those knees and really feel that working in your muscles in your legs, walking really low. Good job. So our first way of travelling was by walking high and low. We're now going to change our way of travelling to jumping. So first of all, can you show me really high jumping? How high can you jump, year 1 and 2? Remember what we need to do with our arms to try and reach as tall as we can? And remember what we need to do with our knees and what we do with our legs when we land. So bend our knees, nice soft knees when we land. How high can you jump, year 1 and 2? I'm going to jump, whoa, really high. I can reach out tall and touch my ceiling, making sure I bend my knees when I land. Good job. I wonder how high you can jump, year 1 and 2. Are you almost touching the ceiling too? Good job. Whew, that's quite a tiring one. If you're still going, well done. Right, now we're going to think about our jumping, but jumping as low as we can. So we can't jump high this time. We're used to jumping high. So how can we jump low? Right, I'm going to turn my jumping into a bunny hop. So watch really carefully, year 1 and 2, and see if you can copy my bunny hop so it looks the same. Make sure you've got some space. We're going to come onto our hands and our feet. And we're going to move our hands first, and then our feet. Hands, feet, hands, feet. So now we're jumping really low because we're just using our feet. And staying really low to the floor. Can you copy my bunny hops, year 1 and 2? Hands first, then feet. That's the hardest part to remember, hands and feet. It might look a little bit more like a frog jump at the moment to some of you, where you're doing both at the same time. See if you can do hands first and then feet, and keep really low. You can still be springy because you can still jump far rather than high. Okay, good job, guys. So we've walked, we've jumped. We're now going to choose a different way of travelling high and low. This time it's going to be by hopping on one foot to the same foot. So starting with high hopping. How high can you hop, year 1 and 2? Can you touch the ceiling with your hops? I wonder if I can hop high and then I jumped. Oh, good job. And I'm going to try it on both legs, because one leg I might be able to hop higher than the other. Make sure we're bending our knees when we land, so we don't hurt ourselves. Good job, guys. How high are you hopping? Okay, again, that one's quite a toughie, quite tiring. Now, as always, we're going to turn it into a low hop now. So I wonder how low you can hop, year 1 and 2. So we might make it a little bit like our bunny hop. But in order for it to be a hop, we might need to take a foot away. So let's have a look at what that looks like. Hand, then 1 foot. Hand, 1 foot. Hand, 1 foot. Hand, 1 foot. Can you copy me, year 1 and 2? 2 hands, then just 1 foot for your bunny hop. Good job. Are you keeping your body nice and low, but hopping really far in each bunny hop? Make sure those hands are nice and flat on the floor. And make sure you look around you before you hop, because you don't want to bang into anything. Good job, guys. Right, we're going to do one more way of travelling. So we've done some walking, we've done some jumping, we've done some hopping. For a bit of fun, we're going to try some climbing now. So I wonder how high you can climb, year 1 and 2. Let's have a look at your high climbing. Does it look like mine? Really reaching up tall with those arms. You might do a bit slower. And as well as using your arms to climb, you need to use those legs and feet too. So reaching, really pulling down with those arms, guys. And then you might speed it up too, to do some fast climbing. Good job, guys. Right, can you turn your high climbing now into low climbing? How can you make a low climb? So it's a bit like our bunny hop to start with, but I wonder if we can now use our legs. You might even see if you can move your hands as well to travel along the space that you're in. So now change your climbing to low climbing, year 1 and 2. Can you copy me? Oh, good job, everybody. That really does work our heart and our lungs. Hopefully you're breathing as quickly and as deeply as me now, and your heart is beating really fast because you've been working super hard. Whew. Okay, we're going to make sure our muscles are really ready for our lesson now. So we're going to start by getting into our space, and we're going to be stretching our hands to different parts of the room. So start with your feet about in line with your shoulders, and with both your arms, I want you to see if you can stretch to a window in the room. It might be a window over to the right. It might be a window out in front of you. It might be a window over to the left. You choose. Where's your window going to be that you're going to reach towards? Mine are in front of me here. Good. Staying still, really stretching our fingers as far away from the rest of our body as we can. Good job. Now you're going to reach towards a door, year 1 and 2. So have a look around you. Where's the door that you're going to choose to reach towards? Hopefully it's in a different direction to your window. Mine's over here, as you can see. So I'm going to reach over the top to the right with both my arms. And now I can really feel that stretch over here. Good job, guys. And the last one we're going to do is reach to the floor. So keeping our legs as straight as we can, we're going to see if we can reach down. Okay, don't worry if you don't touch the floor. Even if they're close, that's okay. Try and keep the legs straight rather than bending the legs, because that's cheating. Reach towards the floor, guys. Have a go. Excellent. Let's have a big, deep breath in through our nose. And out through our mouth. And one more big, deep breath in through our nose. And out through our mouths. Right, we're now going to get on to some other high ways of travelling. So, we've had a go at some walking, some jumping and some hopping. I would like you now to choose some of those different high ways of travelling. Okay, you might choose some of the same ways of high travelling, and you might even come up with your own different ways of travelling as high as you can. So in a moment, I'm going to show you some high ways of travelling that you might like to copy, or completely come up with your own high ways of travelling. We're going to do this for a couple of minutes. Let's have a go, guys. So I'm going to choose to do my tiptoe walking first. So you might choose to do the same as me or different. It's up to you, year 1 and 2. And I'm going to do my tiptoe walking forwards and in different directions. Good job. Right, this is one we haven't done yet. I'm going to try high skipping. Now, in order to get as high as I can, I really have to push my body, opposite knee to opposite elbow, and really drive my arm up nice and high. If you find skipping really tricky, year 1 and 2, think about step, hop, step, hop, step, hop, and really draw those arms up and that knee up to get really high skipping. Good job. Maybe you're copying me, maybe you're doing a different way of travelling high. Okay, now I'm going to think of another way of travelling high. I'm going to try high galloping. I wonder if you're going to copy me or whether you're going to choose a different way of travelling high. So I'm going to gallop, leading with one leg, but I've got my arms up to the ceiling. And I'm leading at the moment with one foot in front of the other, which is my right leg. And then if I want to, I can switch and gallop with my left leg leading. So my left leg in front. So now I've got some high galloping going on. What should I choose next? I'm going to go back to our high hops, because I like those. And if that leg gets tired, I can switch and hop on the other leg. Are you copying me, or are you choosing your own way of travelling high? I'm sure you've got some awesome ideas, year 1 and 2. Right, you've guessed it, we're going to move on to low ways of travelling. So rather than going as high as we can, we're going to go as close to the floor as we can this time. So maybe start one side of your room and think about how you're going to get to the other side by travelling low to the floor. Now, I think if we were at school, lots of us might be doing some sliding right now, where you might be moving on your tummies or your backs like a slippery snake sliding through the grass. So have a go, guys. Think about how you can travel as low as you can, and sliding on your tummy or back might be one way that you'd like to choose. Good, we've definitely got some slippery snakes sliding through the grass there. Good job, guys. I can also see some other children having a go at some log rolls. So it might be that you start on your back, making sure you've got nice safe space, and then roll low. So you start on your back, roll to your tummy, and then back to your back again, which is called a log roll in gymnastics. And that's quite a cool way of travelling low. We're going to revisit that later on in another lesson. So we've got some sliding, we'll have some low rolling, making sure we're keeping safe. I'm going to try one where I'm going to travel on my hands and my feet. This is called a bear crawl. So that's keeping quite low to the floor as well. Could you have a go at copying my bear crawl? Lots of animals when we travel low. Good job. And we had a low way of jumping as well, didn't we? What did our low jumping look like? That was an animal too, wasn't it? Yeah, it was our bunnies. So we did hands and feet, hands and feet, hands and feet, and travelled by using low jumps. Good job, everybody. Hopefully, you've been able to copy most of those low ways of travelling, and maybe you've even come up with some of your own. Right, guys, what we're going to do now is we're going to play around a little bit with our high ways of travelling and our low ways of travelling. So, what's going to happen is we're going to start with a high way of travelling, and then when you hear this noise, my bells, you're going to turn your high way of travelling into a low way of travelling. So it should be completely different. It might be jumping high and jumping low, but they're going to look really different, okay? And you're going to keep on doing your low way of travelling until you hear the bells again. And guess what? You're going to switch back up to a high way of travelling. So we're going to keep going from high, low, high, low, high, low, putting together a bit of a gymnastic sequence. I'm going to do it at the same time as well, so I can give some of you some ideas. So if you want to copy me, you can. Otherwise, you can come up with your own high and low ways of travelling too. So let's get ready. We're going to begin with a high way of travelling. So get into your space to your 1 and 2 and choose what high way of travelling you're going to go with first. Maybe you'll stick with the same high and low all the time. Hopefully not. Hopefully you'll mix it up and find lots of different ways of travelling high and low. Right. Okay. I'm going to get ready for my high way of travelling. Let's go. So I'm going to try high skipping first. Oh, I'm going to put my bells down, otherwise that might put you off. So high way of travelling. First of all, try and cover as much of the space as you can. Try and get as high as you can. Maybe try travelling in different directions as high as you can too. And that's right, we're changing to low now. So I'm going to come down onto my back, make my body stretch, and try my log roll from my back to my tummy. And then I might come back in this direction too. Good job, guys. You're all still travelling low to the floor. Maybe you're sliding like that snake. Right, back up again. Back to a high. I'm not going to choose skipping because I want to choose a different one. I'm going to try my high hopping instead. Yeah, maybe you're copying me. Maybe you're choosing your own high way of travelling. Good job. I'm going to be quick now. Down to the low. I'm going to go with my bear crawl. Maybe you're copying me. Maybe you're doing another low way of travelling. You choose. Back up to high. Crikey. I'm going to go with my high jumps. Because I like to try and touch the ceiling on this one. Here I go. Jumping in lots of different directions. Can you jump side to side? Forwards and backwards. Are you jumping really high if you're choosing jumping? And back down to low. I'm going to do my bunny hop. Hands then feet. Hands and feet. Hands and feet. Are you choosing the bunny hop or are you doing a different low way of travelling? Oh, guys, you are doing such a good job. Excellent copying, and some of you are being really creative with your high and low choices. Ooh. Okay, we're coming towards the end of our high-low travelling activities, but we're now going to think about having a go at copying a gymnastic sequence so we can make sure it's the same as mine. And then if we want to, we can make the sequence a little bit longer by adding some of our own moves on the end, and hopefully, particularly if you're year 2, you should be able to remember the sequence too. So you've guessed it, we're going to link high and low together because we're getting so good now at doing them by themselves. We want to make sure we can put the two together to make a gymnastic sequence. So I'm going to begin one side of my space and I'm going to choose a high way of travelling first. I'm going to travel high across my space, making sure I don't bang into anything or knock anything over. And then I'm going to travel low back to the start again. Okay, so high on the way there and low on the way back. Okay, and you're going to watch really carefully year 1 and 2 to see if you can copy my sequence so it looks exactly the same. At the moment, it's only going to include 2 different movements, 2 different travelling actions. So hopefully it should be pretty easy to copy and make sure it's the same. There's no rush, okay, because in gymnastics, it's about quality. It's about making every move count and making every move look really nice and really neat and tidy. It's not about getting there as fast as we can and being really messy. Right, guys, I'm going to go to one side of the room to get ready for my first action, which is going to be high. Okay, so I'm going to begin on this side and I'm going to do 2 jumps really high to get to the other side. You might be able to fit 2 jumps in. Maybe you might only be able to fit 1 in, but that's okay. Here we go. So I'm going to do 1 high jump lands with my knees bent, and then 2 high jumps, land with my knees bent. And now I'm at the other side of my space, using 2 high jumps. Now I'm going to go back to the start using a low way of travelling. So I'm going to choose my bear crawl. Okay, now I'm facing the wrong way, so I might have to do a jump to turn around. And then I'm facing the right direction to do my bear crawl back to the start again. Okay, let's show you one more time so you can copy it really accurately and really well. So 2 high jumps, or as many as you can fit into your space safely. I then did a turn to face the way I started, and then I did my bear crawl across the mat back to the beginning again. Have a go, year 1 and 2. Pause the video there and see if you can copy my gymnastic sequence so it looks the same. How did you do, year 1 and 2? Did your sequence look the same as mine? Did you make sure that you didn't rush and it looked really neat and tidy? If there's somebody else in your house that you could show, maybe you'd like to show them your gymnastic sequence to see what they think. They might have a go at copying it too. Right, the next challenge, because you guys are such good gymnasts, is seeing if you can add on your own moves onto my sequence. So I started high, then low. What should be next if we've got a repeating pattern? That's right, year 1 and 2, it should be high again. So I wonder if you can add on your own high way of travelling on the end of mine. So that will be 3 different actions that we need to do. And then possibly, if you're feeling up to it, you might add on another way of travelling, which would be low. So high, low, 4 different actions in a row linked together. So work at your own level, year 1 and 2. How many different actions can you add on? But every time you perform the sequence, it has to look the same. Because if you make it up as you go along, you haven't really remembered the sequence in the right order. So have a little play, have a little go, see which high and low activities you like linking together the best. And then once you've decided, practice your sequence a few times to make sure it looks really neat and tidy. Awesome, year 1 and 2. I wish I could see your gymnastic sequences because I know they're really, really impressive. So hopefully you can show someone in your household and really show off how good you are at gymnastics and how good you are at linking your actions together. Guys, I hope you've had an awesome time today. All that's left for us to do is cool down our bodies because we've worked so hard. So what we're going to do for our cool down is we're going to start in a really small shape. We're going to start on our feet and our hands, tucking our heads under to make our body really, really tiny. You're making your body really small. And then from here, we're going to gradually grow up to a tall shape. And it might mean coming up onto your tiptoes, reaching up tall with those arms. How high can you get? And now you're going to make your body as big and as wide as you can, guys. Stretching your fingers as far away from each other as you can, and your toes as far away from each other as you can, keeping control. You don't want to go too far that you lose your balance. And now from this big wide shape, you're going to go back down into the tiny small shape. Control your body. Awesome. So now we've got 3 shapes. We're going to start small. We're going to grow tall. Then we're going to grow wide. Then we're going to grow small. Awesome. Let's try that again. Grow high. Grow wide and big. And grow small. Good job. Coming down onto your bottoms here, 1 and 2. This is called a tuck shape, when we bring our knees up to our chest. So at the moment, we've got lots of body parts on the floor. Bottoms, feet, hands. Can you take one hand away and draw a circle with that wrist? Easy. Now can you take 2 hands away and draw 2 circles with your wrist at the same time? Now can you take a foot away and draw 3 circles at the same time? And that's right, you guessed it. Can you take 4 away and draw 4 circles at the same time? Ooh, that's tough. If you need to break, put a foot down or a hand down and then join back in. And then even more of a challenge, ooh, I'll come to this side, is straight arms, straight legs. Oh, that's a toughie. and relax. Give your body a big shake. Guys, you've been brilliant today. Hopefully you've enjoyed it as much as I have. And until the next time, stay safe, stay active, stay healthy.